Hello there folks, in this video I'll be running through the functions of the picture-in-picture feature in Planetary Annihilation. I will also include some notes about more advanced camera controls too. I've been intending to make this video for quite some time, so let's dive in. You may have seen myself or others use this feature in the game. Indeed, it is incredibly useful, especially considering you are working with entire planets and solar systems. The pip has a number of different functions which you can exploit to best suit your needs, but first we have to enable the pip. To do this, click the little box image above the game counter in the lower right hand corner of the screen. The hotkey for this is Q. To close the pip, hit the button or hotkey again. Now that we have the pip open, we can start to manipulate it. It is important to note that the pip can be used not only as a small viewfinder of sorts, but you can issue commands through it just like you would normally, such as selecting units, queuing buildings, and issuing commands. Hovering the mouse over the pip, you will be able to see a few icons appear within the pip window. These are the further built-in functions that can be toggled at any point in the game. The leftmost button swaps the images of the pip and the main screen. A situation when you may find this useful is when controlling your main base on a large planet, but also developing another base on a moon in orbit. The hotkey for this function is Shift and Q. Moving right, this button copies the camera angle on the main screen to the pip window, allowing you to keep track of something important that you may find in the game if your immediate attention is needed elsewhere. Thirdly, there is the Zoom to Recent Notification toggle. When enabled, the pip will zoom to wherever an event occurs that triggers a notification. Examples of this may be at the beginning of a game when you first encounter an enemy unit, or when you first see their commander. It may also be helpful when keeping up to date on enemy raids when metal extractors are destroyed. Later game, however, this function may become less useful due to the number of notifications. Indeed, the other functions will probably be of more use compared to notification following at that stage. Of course, it depends on the game, the circumstances, your needs, and your preferences. Finally, the mirror function. This shows the opposite side of the planet that you are currently looking at and moves relative to the main view. You will no doubt have seen me use this often when casting, as it allows for a complete view of the battlefield at any one time on single planet systems. The main thing to emphasize with all of these functions is that they are there to facilitate your interaction with the game. Feel free to ignore some altogether if you personally don't find them useful, yet as you become more fluent using these features that are of use, you will find that your game is greatly enhanced. There is even a mod that adds a second picture-in-picture should you decide to need a second pip. Moving on to advanced camera controls now. The features that we'll cover are unit tracking and camera anchors. These are the features that arguably synergize best with the pip functionality. Unit tracking is simple. Press T with the unit selected and the camera will follow that unit until either you move the camera elsewhere, press the hotkey again, or if the unit is destroyed. This can be really useful when using the pip, as you can follow a scout unit in the pip when managing your base or armies, and you will see the scout in real time as well as any intel gathered. Don't forget that you can give commands through the pip as well, so you can keep your scout alive when you find your enemy by issuing move commands through the pip. This can also come in handy when controlling raiding parties. Using camera anchors can take a little getting used to, but you may find it instrumental when playing and spectating games. Camera anchors have fantastic uses when combined with the pip features, especially the swap toggle that switches the main view with the pip. To assign your anchors, use Shift and a number. You can store up to 10 anchors, which you can overwrite and change at any time. Using Alt and a number will change the camera to the position of the respective anchor. An example could be when you have a large team game. You may choose to set anchors above each teammate's base so you can quickly jump to each if necessary. Anchors also come in very handy in multi-planet games. I like to have an anchor set up on each planet in the order they appear in the planet list drop down in the game. That way I can quickly and easily navigate between bases at any moment. Combining this with the pip, you may use the pip to cycle between bases or planets while you have your base in the main view. If you see a raid on an ally that they haven't responded to in a shared armies game, you can quickly control some of their defenses through the pip, or Shift Q to swap the pip and main view so you can have more accuracy when controlling those defenses, and then swap back when you have done that to continue managing your base. Don't forget to give your ally the heads up though as to what's going on and what you have done. No one likes their units doing the unexpected. Now that the basics are covered, we can start theory crafting and getting creative with our use of these features, and think about other situations when you may find them useful. For example, when preparing for a commander snipe, having a nuke launcher in your pip will allow you to quickly launch when an undefended commander is spotted. Equally, if your opponent is planning to build Haleys or Catalysts, you can keep an eye on their progress in the pip. You may even wish to have your pip showing a planetary system in order to see orbital movements from your opponents. These are just a few ways that demonstrate that the pip is essential when playing Planetary Annihilation. I would encourage anyone who doesn't yet use pip or features such as camera anchors to experiment with them. Once comfortable with them, you can combine both to allow you to better control your forces spanning many planets. For now though, that's all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it useful. Until next time, bye for now.